Talking to an octopus. Scruffy ducks and mermaids. Jay was feeling sorry for himself. It was the summer holidays and all his mates had gone away. But Mum had said, "We can't afford holidays." Bet they're doing really exciting things, thought Jay. Not like me. He was in the park, right across from his house, feeding bread to 4 scruffy ducks. Suddenly, Jay saw ripples in the pond. Was it a fish? Then he saw a head bobbing about. Someone was out there swimming. "You better get out before anyone sees you," yelled Jay. "See that sign? Swimming not allowed." A girl came splashing towards him. Jay and the ducks stared at her amazed. The girl had long, green hair like seaweed. She had a flapping silver tail like a fish. She wriggled out of the pond and onto the path. "Love your mermaid costume," said Jay. "It's brilliant." "It isn't a costume," said the girl scornfully. She tugged at her green hair and silver tail. "Look, it doesn't come off. It's real." You're a real mermaid," said Jay, his eyes wide with wonder. "But mermaids live in the sea, don't they? So what are you doing in a duck pond?" "I waited until it was dark," said the mermaid. "Then I wriggled out of the sea into the town. I wanted to find a friend to talk to," she told Jay in a sad, lonely voice. Jay, who was feeling a bit sad and lonely himself, said, "I'll be your friend. You can talk to me." Can you live with me under the sea?" asked the mermaid eagerly. "No way," said Jay, shaking his head. "I can't even breathe under the sea." The mermaid threw herself down in a tantrum. "You humans are so useless," she yelled, angrily beating her fists on the path. "You can't breathe underwater, you've got legs instead of tails, and your hair isn't even green." Then suddenly she started crying big, salty tears. There's no one like me left in the world," she sobbed pitifully. "I'm the last mermaid." Jay was feeling sorry for himself, but now he felt even sorrier for the last mermaid. "Is there anything I can do to help?" he asked desperately. The mermaid gave a big sniff and stopped crying. Tiny crabs scuttled in and out of her long green hair. "You can take me home to the sea," she told Jay. "I'm too tired to wriggle back by myself. Please, will you help me?" "Sure," Jay told her. "I'll take you back to the sea, I promise." Trashing Barbie dolls. Why did you promise her? Jay wondered. He'd no idea how to get the last mermaid back to the sea. She was too tired to wriggle and she was too heavy for him to carry on his own. He looked hopelessly around. Sticking out of the pond was an old shopping trolley. Suddenly, Jay had a brilliant brainwave. He dashed to the trolley and dragged it out of the mud. "Hey, if you get into this trolley," Jay told the mermaid, "I can wheel you back to the sea." With one flick of her tail, the mermaid jumped into the shopping trolley. She curled up in the bottom. "No one must see me but you," she said. So Jay covered her with his jacket. Then he wheeled her out of the park towards the sea. The old trolley had very wonky wheels. "Ah, you're bumping me about," complained the last mermaid. "Sorry," said Jay. "This trolley's really hard to drive." Jay steered the contraption across the road. He was pushing it right past his house when it broke down. "Why have we stopped?" demanded the last mermaid from under his jacket. "Stupid wheel's fallen off," said Jay. "We'll go to my house. I'll have to think of another way to get you to the sea." He dragged the trolley up the steps and into his hallway. "Stay hidden," he warned the last mermaid. Mum was on early shift at the supermarket, but his big sister might be around. "Hey, Mia!" he shouted. But there was no answer. His big sister had gone out. Jay told the mermaid, "Don't move." Then he rushed round the house looking for something to wheel her in. There was nothing. He rushed back to the hallway. The shopping trolley was empty. The mermaid had disappeared. Where are you?" Jay yelled in panic. Then he saw a slimy trail like a giant slug leading up the stairs. The door to Mia's bedroom was wide open. "Oh no," moaned Jay. No one was allowed in his big sister's bedroom when she was out. Not ever, on pain of death. He raced up the stairs and into Mia's bedroom. What he saw there nearly made him faint with horror. "Are you crazy?" he screamed. The mermaid didn't hear. She was too busy trashing Mia's precious collection of Barbie dolls. She pulled the legs off one, then beat up another one with a tail. Whack, whack, until his head fell off. "Stop! Stop!" screamed Jay. "They're just dolls!" He scooped up all the Barbies and chucked them on top of the wardrobe where the mermaid couldn't reach them. Why did you do that?" "I hate them," yelled the mermaid, scowling fiercely. "If I had 2 legs like they do, if I had golden hair, I'd fit in, wouldn't I? Bet I'd have loads of friends. Give me another one to bash." "No," said Jay. He stared out of the window, hoping Mia wasn't walking up the path. "She'll kill me," he thought. Then he saw the wheelie bins. "Come on," he yelled excitedly to the last mermaid. "I know how to get you back to the sea." Talking to an octopus. Jay trundled the wheelie bin down the main street with the mermaid hidden inside. People stared at the boy wheeling a bin. Some kids laughed and called out, but Jay didn't care. He couldn't wait to get the mermaid back to the sea. He'd felt sorry for her 10 minutes ago, but that was before the Barbie bashing. Now he thought, she's nothing but trouble. She was complaining from inside the bin. "Are we there yet? It's smelly in here." Jay could see sparkling waves. He yelled out, "We're nearly there!" But then there was even more trouble. His gran was coming out of a shop, but she hadn't seen him yet. Without thinking, Jay dashed into the nearest building. It was called SeaWorld. "Phew," he thought, as Gran walked past. That was a lucky escape. Then he saw a member of the SeaWorld staff coming his way. Quickly, he crashed the bin through the swing doors marked private. The room was full of huge glass tanks. Good, he thought. There was no one around. The mermaid lifted the bin lid. She peeped out. "What is this place?" she demanded. "Get back inside," hissed Jay. "No," said the mermaid, throwing back the lid and popping up like a jack-in-the-box. "It's where they keep the creatures of the sea," explained Jay, as a grinning shark slid by. "I came here once with my dad." "Oh no!" shrieked the mermaid in terror. "I'm from the sea. They'll catch me. They'll put me in a tank." "Shh," whispered Jay. "It's all right. We're going now. I just didn't want Gran to see me." Suddenly, he heard tap, tap, tap behind him. His head whisked round. He saw tentacles swarming in a tank and 2 big eyes that looked almost human. "It's an octopus," he said. "Why is it tapping on the glass?" The last mermaid stared at the octopus. The octopus stared back. The octopus turned red, right down to its tentacle tips. Then it went blue, then yellow and pink stripes. Now there were green dots flashing all over its body. "She's talking," the mermaid told Jay. "That's how octopuses talk to each other, in colours." "Well, can you talk octopus language?" asked Jay. I don't know," said the mermaid. "I've never tried." But suddenly her own fishtail started changing. It glowed all the colours of the rainbow. There were stripes and dots and zigzags whizzing all over it. "Look, I'm talking to an octopus," the mermaid cried out in delight. "I never knew I could do that." "So, what's it saying?" Jay asked her. "She says she hates it here. She says it's like prison. She says she really, really wants to go back to the sea. She wants to be free." Freedom. Now she'd met the octopus, the mermaid looked really happy. It was the first time Jay had seen her smile. "I found a proper friend," the mermaid told Jay. "A friend I can talk to and who can live with me under the sea. Please," she begged, "you've got to get us back there." Jay frowned. Now he was even more worried. He had to get both of them back to the sea. He had to walk out of SeaWorld with a mermaid and an octopus in a wheelie bin. "I wish I wasn't here," thought Jay, groaning. I wish I was back feeding the ducks. He wanted to walk away, but he just couldn't. Even though the mermaid was a big problem, he still cared about what happened to her. And besides that, he'd promised to help. He stared around hopelessly. Then he saw a metal grill in the floor. Underneath, he could see water and seaweed. Suddenly, a bright light turned on in his brain. "Wow! I just remembered," he told the mermaid eagerly. "Dad told me about that grill. There's a big pipe underneath. It goes straight out to the sea." "Really?" said the mermaid, smiling again. She was very excited. With one flap of her silver tail, she jumped out of the bin. She threw herself onto the grill. She tugged and tugged, and then her face crumpled with disappointment. "Stupid thing, it won't move." Jay knelt near the grill. He tried to pull it open. He puffed and panted. His face went bright red. "It's locked shut," he cried in despair. "We'll never open it." "Well, I'm not giving up," the last mermaid told him. She stuck out her chin. She suddenly looked very brave and determined. Colours whizzed up and down her tail. She was telling her new friend, the octopus, all about the pipe. She was telling her, "We can swim back to the sea together if we can open the grill." The lid on the octopus tank crashed up, punched by 8 powerful tentacles. 2 tentacles slithered out, followed by 6 more. Jay nearly jumped out of his skin. "Help! She's crawling out of her tank!" he yelled, horrified. He dived out of the way as the octopus squirmed across the floor. "Don't be scared," the last mermaid told Jay. "She won't hurt you." The octopus gripped the grill tightly with her tentacles. She was very, very strong. But could she pull it up? At first it didn't move. The octopus tugged harder. Her whole body glowed bright purple, right down to her tentacle tips. "Look, it's coming up," cried Jay. "She's ripping it right out of the floor." The octopus chucked the metal grill away as if it was a piece of rubbish. Clang! Then she dived into the pipe. A great wave sloshed out and wet Jay's trainers. The mermaid followed her octopus friend. Jay saw the flick of her silver tail. Then she was gone. The best firework display ever. "I'd better get out of here fast," thought Jay, "before someone comes in." What would they say when they saw the octopus tank empty and the metal grill ripped out of the floor? Quickly, he slipped from the room and pushed the bin out of SeaWorld. Jay pushed the empty bin down to the beach. There were children paddling, building sandcastles, having fun, but Jay stared out to sea. He imagined the last mermaid and her octopus friend, deep under the waves. He imagined rainbow colours whizzing over them as they chattered to each other. Suddenly, he felt lonely again. The mermaid never even said goodbye, he thought bitterly. She never even said, "Thanks for your help, Jay." Bet she's already forgotten about me. Then, on the horizon, Jay saw lights. He saw stripes and zigzags and stars. They were all the colours of the rainbow, of 100 rainbows spread out across the sky. The lights were whirling and whizzing about like the best firework display ever. "It's beautiful," cried the children, laughing and clapping their hands. "I've never seen anything like that," said a grown-up, "but what is it?" Only Jay knew what it was. It was the last mermaid and her octopus friend talking to him. They were sending him a special message from far out at sea. And even though he didn't speak the octopus language, Jay felt absolutely sure what they were saying. They were saying, "Bye, Jay. Thanks for saving us. You're our hero. We'll never ever forget you as long as we live." A great big grin broke out on Jay's face. No one had ever called him a hero before. "Thanks, guys," he shouted back, even though he knew they couldn't hear him. Then, suddenly, Jay remembered the 2 broken Barbies. For about 10 seconds, his face scrunched up in a frown. "Must get home before Mia," he thought, hurrying away, "and bury the Barbie bits in the garden." But today, nothing could spoil Jay's good mood. Soon he was smiling again. "It's all worked out fine," he reassured himself. Mia's got so many Barbies, she's not going to miss 2, is she? And he ran all the way home with the wheelie bin, still seeing those rainbows.